back to the Palworld Human Only run. I want to thank everyone who watched and supported the first video. It is currently the most watched video on my channel, so thank you for that. As far as the rules for part 2 are going to go, I didn't change anything other than the experience rate, which I turned from 2.5x to 4x, so I wouldn't lose my mind grinding for levels. And already off to some BS. I'm on 1 HP because I made B-roll for the last video, for the end of the video, that I planned to talk over during that part, but I never used any of it. It was like 30 plus minutes long, and I just wanted to make sure I had enough. None of it ever got used, so here we are with my character dying at the very beginning of the run. I'm not really sure how this happened, but for some reason when I got back and I looked into my PAL box, I noticed there was a Fox Sparks in there. Not sure where it came from. Maybe I thought I was on a different world and accidentally caught it. Not really sure. I don't think a PAL could glitch into your inventory, but here we are. I sold it and then destroyed the gold that came from selling it. That way I got no benefit from it. Still not sure where it came from, but in case anyone is wondering, when I talked about those 5 land balls in the last video, I did the exact same thing. While on my way to fight the sweeper boss, I ran into the incident spawn involving some mercs and syndicate thugs. I was unfortunately too slow to catch any of the syndicate thugs, and catching the mercenaries would most likely get the police called on me. So instead, I went and fought the sweeper boss, and by I meant I had Zoe do all the work while I fought the little bitty things that were of no threat to anyone. Afterwards, though, I did end up deciding to try and catch a mercenary, which went very poorly for me, considering the fact that I failed to capture him on the first try, and then had the police called to me, like I said could happen previously. Do you know what you do in Palworld after having a near-death experience at the hand of the corrupt law enforcement? You do base management. So I went ahead and built a spear workbench, followed by creating a new area that I'm going to move my storage to eventually. I also started on the task of making like 100 or something PAL spears. Now that we're done with base management, it's time for everyone's favorite part of a Palworld video, boss run time. Something that I did not realize would suck so much about this run is the fact that I will never be able to get some of my favorite pals. Univolt, Pyron, they're like my favorite ground knocks. Suzaku, Jetragon, I really like them as flyers go. I like Suzaku because of the way he looks mostly, but never be able to get them. Anubis and Lunaris are my favorite pals in this game overall, and I will never be able to get them in this run. Now, I will be able to get them in other runs that I plan to do eventually, but I don't know if I plan to finish. Well, I kind of want to get to a stopping point with this run, which may be this video, it may be another video. I may go until I can't conceivably beat a tower boss, which is probably going to be like the 5th tower, but I also might just stop here and start a different one, and if people really want to see a continuation of this run, then obviously I'll do a continuation of this run, but you know, it just kind of depends. While trying to catch a level 20 human boss known as Grill, I ran out of arrows and needed a particular goth girl to save my life. In the end, it did work out with a Hail Mary 6% capture rate throw. After this, me and Zoe, mostly Zoe, killed the Nightwing boss and the Dung Mud boss. A wise man once said, "Quit while you're ahead." I think that wise man was actually a very stupid one instead. So I went to Sakurajima, swam there, proving the point that I could swim to other islands. While there, I also found a supply drop and got some good spears out of it. I didn't write what else was down in the supply drop, so I'm just going to assume the rest of it was pretty decent. It was Sakurajima, so it had to be, if I'm being honest. After I was done exploring and made it back to my base, I decided to do some testing with the human electricity generator, I believe is what this thing is called. It is a hamster wheel that they run on to generate electricity. And it will be very important for me to be able to use electricity if we want to get past the third tower, if I'm being pretty honest. But the issue is, it is so abysmally slow. It took almost an entire minute of this dude running on this wheel before we could generate enough electricity to have 1%. That will last no time. It's also the reason why in the last video I said I increased the amount of base pals to 20 so we can have 5 humans running on these wheels non-stop. I'm very glad I did it, but I also might need to increase it more. I went and fought Lasso basically right after. These bosses don't give a lot of XP when you catch them, but that is the reason for the XP multiplier. And more bosses is always good. Better than fewer bosses, I suppose. After fighting Lasso, though, look what I ran into. A lucky Mazzarina. This stupid cow that nearly killed me the last time I found a lucky version of it. You know I had to go back and spin the block on it. I mean, if I'm being honest, I kind of almost died a few times during this fight again. But thanks to the power of teamwork, it was Zoe. It was Zoe and her rifle. Zoe and her rifle is what allowed me to kill this thing. But, hey, I got my kit back, and that's all I care about. I found a glitched nest of Serpent. It's cool to look at. No alpha, no eggs. The right amount of pals to be a nest. It's just not really sure what caused the glitch. Hope it doesn't cause anything else. After some resource mining that I did while I was not recording, I made a musket. Abysmal fire rate, abysmal reload time, but amazing single shot damage. It has a base damage of, I think, 1,000. At least that's what its base attack says. But either way, I was able to defeat the boss Gumas in one single shot. That's all it took. After I was done with Gumas, I went and cheesed Lunaris because she was too high level for me. Then I went and fought the Bon Cherry boss, I believe I'm saying that correctly. And then I fought the bounty known as Crash. An easy lick, if I do say so myself. Do y'all remember in the first video when I went through all of that trouble trying to get a member of the Brothers of the Eternal Pyre in order to smelt? Well, somebody, that would be me, forgot that you can use syndicate cleaners to smelt as well. I don't know when I got this one, but he's here now. Since I was able to have 2 smelters at the same time without going back to the volcano area to catch another Brother of the Eternal Pyre, I decided to go to the church where you can acquire Zoe and where that metal merchant is to mine up a bunch of metal. I mined into the night and well past my carry limit, only leaving because I thought I heard a Lucky Pal and did not want to get caught fighting a dark type Lucky Pal. Right after getting all of this metal, I went, smelted it, and made more bullets for my musket. A lot of them because we're going to need it. Thankfully, due to the amount of metal I had, even after creating all those bullets, I had enough left over to make some metal armor. This is going to be very important very soon. You see, we're going to need a lot of coal and a lot of metal moving forward in this run. And I'm going to need the pals I have in my base to be able to mine it without me there, as we have a coal node on this base. I'm going to need to go to Faybreak and get either a Faybreak Berserker or the bounty there that has level 3 mining. Now, getting to Faybreak without a water pal is already going to be pretty difficult, but there is an area on the Mount Obsidian map where if you swim from there to Faybreak, you should make it there if you have a minimum of 320 stamina. I had over the minimum, but I still did not make it. This is because I was very intelligent and swam from the wrong part of the map. I was actually still pretty close to the edge, but I still was swimming from the wrong area, so I wasn't going to make it. Here is the path I took, and here is the correct path that you're supposed to take. If I would have done right, I wouldn't have had any problems getting there. Instead of going right back to get my stuff, I went and purchased the multi-climate undershirt. This is the level 2 version, meaning it gives me 2 levels of heat protection and cold protection. With my metal armor, this makes me immune to any of the temperature effects in the game. When I did leave to go and get my stuff back eventually, I ran across this Predator pal. It was a Dig Toys, and I wasn't too scared of it, but I was sweating a little bit for the fact I had to swim across water through part of the running away. Then I got my stuff back. It was fine. Nothing attacked me, so that was good. Swimming to Faybreak was also plenty easy. And I was so shocked I made it. Despite the fact I did the math, I was still shocked. I stood still for a second. And then I got it together and realized if I didn't get to this waypoint within the next 5 seconds, something was probably going to try to kill me. So I sprinted all the way to the waypoint, got it, and then I went home. I was not finna explore Faybreak right now. I did eventually come back to Faybreak the next day and accepted a quest from this guy to find Nightstar Sand. After a supply drop fell, so I was going to wait for night, do his quest, and then see about getting the supply drop. I also sat there and watched the Faybreak Warriors and Berserker just absolutely massacre all of the pals around it. It was not a fair fight at all. I went and got the Nightstar Sand for this guy and turned it in to get about 4 levels. This is one of the reasons I love his quest. If you come here as low level, say level 15, it can jump you all the way up to level 27 or 30 or higher depending on setting. Thought I would be getting ready to tell you guys about how dangerous and high stakes getting the supply drop was after turning in that quest. But actually, it was very quick, very simple. The Berserker was focused on other things. Even had enough time to take a screenshot for my notes for later, so I didn't have to stop and start writing right then and there. Now that I think about it, though, I could have tried to catch that Berserker, but it probably would have been a fairly bad idea. He was about 3/4 health, but I don't think that would have been enough to get him. Before we go face the next tower boss, let's take a quick look around base. I thought this would be a good idea since I don't really show the things I'm doing in my base most of the time. There are 2 new hot springs, high quality ones, 2 fluffy pal beds. Over here we have a new meal that I put in to upgrade the base. I have the spear assembly line now. I have also finished crafting the 5 things we're going to need for the humans to generate electricity for us. I put down a normal electricity generator. I don't know. I thought the humans might do something with it. They don't. It's a little saddening. I knew they weren't going to, but it would have been nice. I renamed a few humans, planter, gatherer, waterer, and also the humans who will be forced to work electricity for the rest of their lives. They're also renamed. I have a little side awning on my house for the extra workbenches and stuff. And this assembly line will allow me to make hyper spears, which we're going to need in the future. Also, I finished the storage section of our build, and I think it's looking nice if I do say so myself. Now, it is time for us to go and face Lily and Lylene. This trip to go to Lily and Lylene was the absolute definition of the most uneventful trip ever. I just kind of climbed up the side of the mountain and made it there. It was really, really easy. Then it was time to go. Time to fight the next tower boss. Time to fight Lily and Lylene. Normally, I would want to bring a Wixen Noct or Wixen with me. Just anything that would help deal fire damage, really. But I don't have that opportunity with Lily and Lylene. Oh well, enjoy the fights. I'm not going to let the fight play uninterrupted this time because this fight is almost 8 minutes long and this is not one of my unedited gameplay videos, so I'm actually going to talk. And here's something that I did want to mention. The musket has great consistent damage. It takes an eon to reload. I know I've spoken about it taking a while to reload, and it's never really been that bad to me before because I use the musket all the time. But I'm realizing specifically in this fight and during this playthrough that even when I have the musket, I upgrade a little bit quicker because I'm catching more pals, I'm leveling up quicker. Also, I kept taking damage in this fight from the bubble attacks and from the little thing where she makes the roots come out of the ground. All of this was avoidable damage, by the way. I just didn't react. It wasn't even a slow reaction time. It was like I just decided not to react. I remember it happening and me going, oh well, whatever. Towards the end of the fight, it did get a little dicey for a second. I had taken a lot of damage, but I was fine at the end. And hey, a long fight, but we came out on top at the end, guys. It took a long time though. We finally felled Lily and Lylene, and me and my soldiers, as I've decided to call my party, came out alive. The Lily and Lylene fight, despite taking longer than the Zoe and Grisbolt fight, actually was a lot easier. So was the making of this video being easier than the last video. It was the first time I made a video with that much editing, cutting, and all that stuff happening in it. And I do plan to make other videos. I don't think the next Palworld I video make will be a continuation of this run. I'm not going to stop this run. If people want to see it continued, I will continue it. But I think I want to pivot into a different run just to have some more variety and probably to give me ideas for this run anyway. I think the next one I'm going to do, well, I'll keep that a secret for now, but you'll see it eventually. Also, I've decided, like I said, to call the humans in my party soldiers and the humans at my base civilians. I just think it's a cool idea, but it's whatever. Anyway, thank you for watching. Hope you all have a great rest of your day, and please like, comment, and subscribe.